Good afternoon, everyone, dear Miss Nita and my classmates. Today I will be presenting on the topic of retrenchment as one of the human resource practices. My name is Yelena and I am doing dual award degree in human resource management in Segi University. So the topic of retrenchment is especially interesting to me and I hope I will be able to share something new to you today. The content will contain reasons for retrenchment, its challenges, strategies to maintain employee morale, as well as alternatives to retrenchment process. So, reasons for retrenchment. First one, economic. In situations where the organization's activities become liquid and cause large losses, management offer reduce organizational costs. For example, Warner Media cuts thousands of jobs, including top management, in an offer to cut costs by 20% after pandemic crisis. Second one, structural. Structural changes include the reorganization of production, the introduction of new labor standards, and changes in the management structure. For example, Dell Incorporation cut 10,000 jobs in 2016 after closing a $67 billion deal to acquire data storage company EMC Corporation. Last one, technological. Technological changes can be caused by modernization of equipment, machines and mechanism, or any improvement of workplaces. In 2016, Cisco Systems Incorporation fired 5,500 employees as it switched to hardware production and provided itself with a rapid technological shift. So, challenges of retrenchment. Firstly, decreased morale in a company. The psychological damage that layoff cause to the remaining workers is too terrible to imagine. Low morale reduces the engagement of employees. The fate of their colleagues make it clear that efforts and achievements do not guarantee stability. One research provided that after layoffs, survivors' job satisfaction drops by 41%, company loyalty by 36%, and productivity by 20%. Moving on, complexity of the procedure. HR employees go through a very structured process via staff retrenchment. Any mistake or omission of one of the steps may promise litigation with former employees. The personal file of each employee is analyzed. The professional qualities are evaluated. Employers should also take into account the list of those employees who are illegal to be laid off, as well as the principle of last in, first out. Next, one needs to calculate wages, compensation, and other payments in accordance with the employment contract. Lastly, skill and knowledge loss. With the staff retrenchment, an employer, along with the dismissal employees, is losing their knowledge and skills. Employees, especially those who have worked in a company for a long time, are familiar with the methods of solving all major regular problems and operational approaches, have their own algorithms for efficient work, and are familiar with customer preferences. Strategies to maintain employee morale during retrenchment. Communicate consistently and honestly. The remaining workers need to understand why the employer made the cuts and whether alternatives were considered and applied. According to HRM2 research, a lack of information fuels layoff anxiety experienced by 48% of American workers. The more information employees have, the more motivated, productive, and focused they will be. So, second one, keeping employee engaged. In addition to honest and open communication, it is necessary to involve employees in key decisions of the company. Even if manager cannot accept them, the presence of requests and interest in the opinion of employees show that management cares. Additionally, participation in decision making can reduce stress and anxiety among employees. Among the best employee engagement tracking softwares are Implus, Lipsum, Office Vibe, and Kazoo. So, third way, allow employees to adapt to a new norm. It must be understood that after layoffs, many employees will resist change. Recognizing that change is frustrating for the employer itself is important, as it will help the entire team realize that they are united and share the problem together. This helps employees regain a sense of trust in the company. Last part, alternatives. First one, training and upskilling. Training and development ensures the successful implementation of building a career development process that meets the needs of the organization. For example, AT&T company realized that the position of 40% of employees would soon become irrelevant to the company. And instead of cutting staff, the company retrained about 100,000 workers and accelerated its revenue increase by 27%. Second, change work schedule. If an organization is forced to stop operations due to the fact that suppliers are not working, it is possible to declare downtime for economic reasons. For example, Ernst and Young offered to 9,000 employees the opportunity to take 1 month of unpaid leave, thereby reducing payroll cost by 17%. An employee can also implement a part-time work schedule if there have been changes in the organizational structure of workflow that could lead to mass layoffs. Last alternative is compensation and expenses reduction. There are several ways to reduce costs, namely reduce salaries and bonuses, working hours, transfer some functions to outsourcing. Many companies include travel expenses, gym, catering in social packages. If their bonuses are fixed in local regulations, they can be reviewed. It must be remembered that a pay cut must be a good faith decision and not used to evade base wage requirements. For example, Creative Nogin, instead of laying off one of its 14 employees, cut wages by 20 to 30% to everyone. So that's it from my side. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any question, please contact me using this number or email. I will be so glad to answer any of them. Here is my reference list, and that's it from my side. Thank you very much. Goodbye.